It is the most wonderful time of the year. It's Intramural Open season. I'm Chris Cooper. This is Run a Profitable Gym, and every year we publish this amazing guide called the Intramural Open, and you can get your copy at www.intramuralopen.com. Or if you're in the Gym Owners United Facebook group, you can just DM me through there and ask for your own copy. Then you can look at it while we're going through this. Here's where the intramural idea comes from. I went to high school 30 years ago, and my high school operated a lot like Hogwarts, if you're familiar with the Harry Potter series. So on the first day of school, you're starting high school, and you're put into this big auditorium, and you're drafted, and you're placed on one of 4 teams. My team was called the Panthers. And every single day for the rest of your high school career, which was 5 years back then, you would be visited first thing in the morning by somebody from your team. We called them sticks because their job was to force you to show up and participate in one of about 40 different sports. And so on a Monday morning, the stick might show up and say okay, Chris, you're playing floor hockey at 12:20 against the Knights. And I also want you to sign up for American Gladiators that starts next week. And they would peer pressure you into doing these activities. And your team, your house, my house, the Panthers, would get points every time I showed up and participated. We'd get a few more points if I won, but really it was all about participating. Now, the head of our house would give us this pep talk every year. It'd be the exact same thing. His name was Mr. White. And he would say, guys, the Panthers are the biggest team. We have 2 more players than every other team. And if all we do is show up for everything every day, we are going to win by attrition. And that was our strategy. It was not put the best players first. It was draft the people most likely to show up and then beat it into their skulls that they had to. Because if you signed up for something and didn't show up, you would lose points. Well, fast forward years later, I've got a CrossFit gym. CrossFit announces they're going to do something that's called the CrossFit Open. The first time we ran the Open, it was a lot of fun. There was a small group of competitive athletes and everybody else, and of course, all the best clients were in the everybody else category. And so we ran this CrossFit Open and we did heats, and it was hey, here's the everybody heat. You guys do your best. And then, the real competitors are coming on now. Everybody stick around and watch how fast we can go. And it was cool. It was fun. It was a lot of hype. It looked like a battle, felt like your birthday party. You get it. But the reality is it never really brought that feeling of community into my box. It was kind of us and them, and it really wore me out. My coaches were exhausted. It wore the clients out. A lot of them took breaks after the Open. Some of them got really inspired, and they're like, I want to get my first double under, muscle up, whatever. But a lot of them kind of started feeling this is a competition now. It's not really for me. And it created this bipolar effect in the gym where the competitors were more stoked than ever. Some people wanted to become competitors, but the vast majority were kind of that was fun. Yeah, what's next? It also kind of led to the belief that CrossFit was going to be hard every single day. And I fed into that. I made the mistake of programming harder workouts, heavier weights, etc. We lost our way a little bit. But when the next year rolled around, I said, okay, well, how can I do that again and keep all the excitement, the birthday party, and lose the battle, the competitive part, the negative part, the exhaustion, the burnout, lost my voice every single week. How do I keep the good stuff? And also, I'm tired of asking my coaches to volunteer for this. How can I make some money at it so that I can pay them? Because I'm putting in all these extra hours too. Suddenly now I've got 6 weeks where I'm not taking a day off anymore. How do I make money at this? And so in my brain, we married the idea of the intramural with the Open. This became the Intramural Open. And it was the first piece of content that was really popular that I published for gym owners well over a decade ago. And a lot of people started liking it, copying it, using it as their own, which I love. Thank you for doing that. I don't care if you give me credit or not. The reality here is if this idea works for you, use it, build retention, build community, build revenue in your gym. And you don't have to say this came from Chris or Two Brain Business or anything like that. I'm going to walk you through this guide. And I just wanted you to get a sense of the flavor and the purpose here. If you're running a gym, be it CrossFit or something else, where you're focused on competition, this might not be for you, or you might want to tailor it. But if you're running a gym, whether it's CrossFit, whether it's F45, Fit Body Bootcamp, any type of group fitness, semi-private personal training studio, the Intramural Open is an amazing once-a-year event that pulls people in your gym closer, builds retention, builds community. It's a hell of a lot of fun, and it's profitable for you too. You don't have to do the CrossFit Open if you're doing the Intramural Open. We've got sample workouts this year for the first time that you can follow, or you can build your own workouts, whatever you think is best for your community. Or if you're doing the CrossFit Open, use those workouts and just sub them right into this Intramural Open template that I'm going to walk you through. And we're going to start that right now. This guide that I'm about to show you is available to you for free. Just go to intramuralopen.com, click the link beneath this video, or you know where you can find me, gymownersunited.com, and you can just send me a DM through Facebook and ask me for the Intramural Open guide. I'll give it to you. I'm going to walk you through it right now just to show you first like the timeline, but also kind of like what the rules are and how you can tie this into the CrossFit Open if you're a CrossFit gym, whether you want to do the CrossFit Open or not, how you can put in your own programming. I wanted to set the stage by giving you kind of what this should feel like. It should look like a war, but feel like your birthday party. That was our slogan one year. I also wanted to show you some samples of how this has gone for my gym. I'm going to scroll up here just a little bit because I want to show you some pictures. This is one of my favorite years. So this is 2017. This team is called the Chalk Monkeys. You'll notice like they've got their own homemade t-shirts. You can see at the bottom, like there's a monkey swinging from a bar. Amazing team spirit. This might have been Burpees Outbreak. I don't know. But like you can look at the points that they've got. Okay, you can see there's a spreadsheet that I tracked it on. And this is the banner for the Chalk Monkeys from 2015 that we put up in my gym. And if you walk into my gym now, what you'll see is 8 of these banners in a row. It's amazing. And I love it because we're not just celebrating, here's the team that went to the games that year, or here's the person that went to Canadian Nationals weightlifting, or here's the person that won that triathlon. But like, here are the people in our family. Here is our church. Here are the people who you'll be exercising with and celebrating them, right? I love it. Those are huge banners around my gym. They look great. Let's talk about the timeline here. So first, the Intramural Open season really starts right now. I'm going to shrink this down a little bit just so that you can kind of see like what this timeline should be, and I can get it all on the screen. Starting today, you should be launching pre-open programs. And what that means is you should be thinking about the Open and thinking about where there are opportunities to encourage people to improve really quickly. So this is above and beyond your normal programming. If somebody has a weakness, like a double under, knees to elbows, they can't land a snatch, they can't do an overhead squat, whatever that is, you can run a clinic for that. You can run one clinic every Saturday. You know, it's a small group session. They pay for it on double unders. You can run one clinic the next Saturday on snatching, whatever it is. This is really done not to give people a competitive edge, but more to give them the confidence that they can do everything. Now, of course, they don't know what the workouts are going to be. If you're using my workouts or building your own workouts, you will know. But it's a great incentive for them to build their confidence and practice their weaknesses. So, you know, offering these things as one-on-one personal training sessions or as like small group extras will help people feel confident, comfortable signing up. And that's why we're really doing it. You know, let's face it. I can give you some tricks. Maybe I can give you your first double under in a focused session about double unders. I'm probably not going to drive you clean and jerk up 30 points. But what I am going to give you is the confidence to enter. Okay. And then between now and March 3rd, you want to advertise the Intramural Open. How do you do that? You do that through your media. You talk about it through your email list. You shoot videos like the one of me that you just saw talking about my history. You can talk about how you're doing it, why you're doing it this way. If you're combining it with the CrossFit Open, using the CrossFit Open workouts within the Intramural Open, great. Like talk about that. Talk about scorekeeping, talk about captains, talk about the draft, the selection, why you want people to sign up, why it's important to compete against yourself, etc. Okay. Produce a lot of media. Give people 100 reasons to sign up. You can also start registration. So you should, on a big whiteboard at your gym, just have a list of people who have already signed up. This is going to create social proof. And hey, look at Denise from the new group signed up. That's amazing. She's great. You know, I was feeling awkward about signing up because I'm not competitive, but if Denise signed up, I can too. You know, or my BFF, Billy, he's doing it. I guess I have to before he texts me and asks me. So you put this in-house registration up on a whiteboard, show people who's signing up, and that'll encourage others. Then January 27th, you can select a scoring system. I'm going to give you some examples of that as we go through the guide. On the 30th, you're going to select some team captains. You're looking for the fun people, not necessarily the most competitive athletes. You're looking for the sticks, the people who are going to get people to show up. February 3rd, you're going to run a draft. So this is all of the people who have already committed and signed up. You're either going to let the captains pick them one by one in secret, or You're just going to open up your entire gym list to the captains and let them recruit. Typically, the way that we do it is there's a draft for the people who've already signed up. And then the people who haven't signed up, but who are members of my gym, they go on a big list. And it's up to the captains to go out and try to recruit them one by one, get them to sign up, get them on their team. My favorite time ever doing this, I took the captains out for wings. So we picked the captains. They were just really fun people. We went out to this wing place. We did the draft. We had maybe, let's say 70 people who were going to sign up. And so the draft is secret because you don't want anybody to ever feel like they've been the last one picked. But then after that draft, there were still another, 100 people on my client list who hadn't signed up. And so I gave that list to the captains, and the table at this wing place just went silent for 20 minutes as they all started friending the members, adding them, DMing them. Let me tell you something. If you're not an athlete and you've signed up to this gym and you didn't sign up for the Intramural Open because it seems scary, and you're sitting at home, maybe with your husband at 6 p.m. and you get a DM from a stranger, hey, would love to have you on my team for the Intramural Open. And then you get a DM from somebody else, would love to have you on my team for the Intramural Open. You feel pretty damn special. People are fighting over you. So it's not a question of, are you going to do it? It's which team should I be on? There's nowhere else in their life where people are fighting to have these people on their team. This is like a once in a lifetime experience that you can give to your clients who are maybe a little bit more nervous. Then you can start with the workouts. Now, in this guide, I'm going to give you some sample workouts. That's the programming that I'm going to do at my gym. You can use them. You can use some of them, not all of them. You can change them. You can do whatever you want. You can use the CrossFit Open workouts and just drop them right into this Intramural Open framework. Use those workouts if you want to. And you're going to release them one at a time with like maximum hype. Go on camera, do a Facebook Live or whatever. Here we are announcing the next workout. Just like Dave Castro used to do with the CrossFit Open events. If you're a CrossFit gym, you really want to hype up the big reveal, the announcement. Here's what we're going to be doing this week. Make it a really big deal for your people. So here you go. You've got basically the month of March to do workout 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you want to add another one, you can. And then at the end, you can launch post-open programs. So for example, if you want to run a 6 weeks clean and jerk program, right after the open is a great time because people will have tested everything. They'll have identified some weaknesses and said, I really want to get better at that. And this is just you striking while the iron is hot, giving them the opportunity to improve their weakest link while they're thinking about it. It might come as a surprise to you. It often does to me, but most people don't think about fitness 24 hours a day like we do. And so while you've got their attention and their interest and their engagement and their excitement, you want to say, okay, let's actually spend some time working on those double unders now. All right. So the key here, of course, is we're creating an opportunity to celebrate our clients. That is the number one thing. It should, maybe from the outside to somebody that's not in your gym, it looks like a war, but it should feel like a birthday party. All we're trying to do here is create podiums that you can plop your clients on and celebrate them, find excuses to celebrate them, period. If you want to give out Spirit of the Open Awards, I love it. If you want to celebrate like team leaders, have bios, have interviews, I love it. All the media is good media. Let's start with setting up your pricing, selecting your captains. Now, look, I've got some tips in here. I strongly suggest that you charge at least $50 for the Intramural Open. This does two things. Number one, it tells your clients that they should take this seriously, that they should prepare for it, that it's a big deal if they miss, right? Like they've got some skin in the game, as the saying goes. Then what you have to do is make the event worth the price. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to go buy a turkey dinner for everybody. What it means is that you have to hype up the atmosphere. What they're buying is an experience. It doesn't mean that you have to include t-shirts, but you can. If you want to include t-shirts from our friends at Forever Fierce, you can do that. But what it really means is that they're buying a memory. They're never going to have this experience in their life of peak health, peak fitness, celebration of what their body can do. That is what they're buying. And so it has to be notably different from just showing up and doing a normal WOD on a Friday. There has to be hype, put up some balloons, play the music louder, invite their family to come in, invite their friends, stream it live, make it different from their normal experience, okay? Make it a peak experience, a peak memory in their lives. Second, I've got some good rules here about the right captains. I've done this a million ways. Before I explain, like I screwed this up by selecting the best athletes as captains more than once. That's a mistake. You want to select the fun people, the people who have a strong affinity to your other members. They're the magnets. They're the spark plugs. Chris, will you please be on my team? Like, you want the person that you can't resist saying that to you. Okay. Then you can set up your scoring. Now on page 11, I've got some templates here that you can use. You can use a Google Sheet, or there's lots of apps that are out there for competition too. Use your gym's existing software platform if you can. There's no need to add like a brand new app for this. But if you're thinking about trying out a different app, this is a good little like bullet to test it before you fire the big cannonball of switching entirely. Okay. You might want to create divisions. I've got some instructions here. Like maybe you want a competitive division. That's cool. Sometimes your clients like seeing like the more competitive people go. As Greg Glassman used to say, we're all mountain climbers, but these are the people summiting Everest. It doesn't hurt anything to have athletes competing. Okay. But it also doesn't inspire people to stick around your gym longer if that's what they see. And if you give the athletes the big priority, the hype, the live stream, everybody else is going to feel like a second-class citizen. So think very carefully about the divisions that you set up. You can also have an RX and a scaled. I'm not doing that anymore. It's one division because most of the points are going to be awarded on attendance. There are some points at my gym for like winning, but you have to be doing RX to win the workout anyway. Everybody else is there for participation points. Intramural Open should take over your gym. Here's some tips for open registration, how to do the draft day step by step. Okay. You can read it all. Okay. So here you go. How to even do the draft, peak moment opportunity, stream the draft on Facebook Live. We did this, I'm going to say 2019. It was amazing. So much fun. Lots of people showed up at the cafe where we were doing the draft just to watch it, hear their name called. We called them up on the stage. We held up a little whiteboard that said like team burpee outbreak, when they take their picture with it, peak opportunity moment, like get on your media. You can create enough media in the 4 weeks of the Intramural Open to last you the entire year, if that's what you want to do. When I say like create ways for your clients to win, create peak moments, that's what I'm talking about, is creating media. Find reasons to brag about them. Here's your recruitment period. Okay. Here's your pre-open programming. Here you go. What to do exactly. Here's how to score. Here's how to run events. Okay. Have an announcement party, step by step. Instructions are all here. Now, let's talk about the workouts. Because, hey, if you're watching this, if you're a gym owner that owns 12 gyms, I know you're still an exercise nerd, and that's why you got into this like me. When I broke out these workouts for my gym, what I wanted was kind of like diversity, a good sampling across all energy systems. But more than that, I wanted something where each person in my gym could feel like, oh, that's my event. That's for me. So the first one is the super meet. The super meet is a 2-hour strength competition. It's a combination weightlifting meet and powerlifting meet with like a kind of a vanity lift, the weighted pull-up in there too. That said, I don't want it to take all day like a powerlifting meet does. So what you're going to do is open up a 2-hour window. You can do this twice in one day if you want to, like noon till 2 or 6 till 8 or whatever PM, or you can do Saturday morning. That's what I do. You've got a 2-hour window. The coach brings everybody in, starts the clock. Within that 2-hour window, everybody hits a max in snatch. Everybody hits a max in clean and jerk, press, back squat, deadlift, weighted pull-up. Be as strict as you want to. I've got a link here with like the rules from my gym in 2009 on the super meet. In general, people can approach this in any order they want to. So they can do their best lift first. They can spend all their time like warming up, whatever. They've got 2 hours. I strongly recommend that you're strict on the judging. It's better to hurt somebody's feelings a little bit today and have them come back next year and smash it than to be inconsistent and have a moving target for them to hit. Week 2, I wanted something very anaerobic. And so what we did was Fran. Now, I love Fran. It's a very hard workout. If you're pretty fit, you're going to get that done in 4 minutes, 3.5, maybe 3 if you're a real crazy athlete. The problem is that a lot of people are going to take 15 minutes. I think it might have taken 30 my first time. And I eventually got that time down to like a 4:03 or something. And I was really proud of that. But you don't want people in one heat finishing in 4 minutes and the last person in their heat finishing in 12 or 13 or 15 minutes. They're going to feel, out of place. So what you want to have is predictable heat schedules. And so what we're going to do is as many reps as you can in 7 minutes of 10 barbell thrusters and 10 pull-ups. This is going to get really anaerobic. Your athletes with the big VO2 max, they're the ones who are probably going to do the best. And that's what you're testing here. So, day 1, you're testing strength. Week 2, you're testing anaerobic. Week 3, we're going to get more aerobic. Okay. So week 3, we're going to be doing a time trial. And this is row 1,000 meters. Okay. Do 200 feet of a dumbbell farmer carry, 100 feet of burpee broad jumps, 200 feet of dumbbell lunges, and then 50 wall balls. Okay. We call that a time trial. And then event 4 is called Haiti. Now, we are partnered this year with Brace for Impact, who fund the creation of schools in Haiti. They have an event called Brace for Impact, which is a 24-hour event. I strongly recommend you go to their website and check it out. You can participate in Brace for Impact 46. Mentor from Two Brand, Corey Lewis, runs this event. It's enormous every year. You feel so great. What we wanted to do is take one of their events, and we're going to put that in the Intramural Open this year. So Haiti for us is AMRAP in 12 minutes of 10 dumbbell push presses, 10 dumbbell front squats, 6 burpees over the dumbbells. Now, I also made this the 4th workout for a reason. If you want to run a Bring a Friend event as part of your Intramural Open, here's your opportunity. Do it. You can have somebody bring in a stranger. We're not going to do complicated lifts. They're going to feel like they're part of this super fun birthday party type environment. Their goal is just finish. If they get through one round, that's great. They can work out with their partner. You can do it as like a I go, you go type thing, whatever you want to do. It's an amazing workout to do with part of a Bring a Buddy. Of course, every person who comes into your gym to try a workout during this period is going to see the best gym that you've got for one day. They should also fill out a waiver. You should also screen them. You should have a conversation with them beforehand to make sure that they're ready for this type of intensity. And you should talk to them about their fitness goals and turn that into an NSI. Okay. Let's talk about prizes. Hey, our grand prize, a week of lunches. We've got a cafe next to the building, next to the gym. It's amazing. I just go to the cafe and say, start a tab. The winning team gets lunches on me for a week. Okay. You can do anything you want. Like a social event seems to work the best. Hang up a banner, go to Forever Fierce, and they can set up your banner for you. They do this for us. How does this make revenue for you? Look, this is a fun event. And I know that it's something that if you're a CrossFit gym, you feel like you should do it to be part of the CrossFit community. And you're doing this service. I get that. But the reality here is like, this takes up a lot of your time, your energy, your resources. Even if you don't make money on it, your coaches deserve to get paid for it. And I think like charging for it gives your clients an incentive to do their best, to take it seriously. If not, you run the risk of like, oh, it's 4 weeks of harder programming at our normal classes. Like charge for this and make it worth it. You should also look at running things like gymnastics prep course, individual sessions for people who want to get better and build their confidence. These are all great things for your gym and for the client and for the coaches. The other thing here for individual sessions is like, let's say that you've got one day, okay? It's going to be Saturday when we're running the Intramural Open event. Somebody says, I'm out of town, I can't make it. Should you ask your coaches or yourself to volunteer more time for them to do the event? You know, we used to do that, but we'd wind up getting like 5 different people saying, I want to do it at this time, that time. And you feel like if you do it for one, you've got to do it for each of them. So you wind up volunteering a ton of time that you don't really have. Instead, you tell them like, if you can't make this session, you can make it up at a personal training session. Boom, done. And then those people have the choice of either making it up on the Saturday or coming in and doing a personal training session to get tested. People who are really serious don't have a problem with the personal training session. Of course, they're going to pay for that too. Retail, I really think like it is super duper smart to let people design their own t-shirts and have you print them. But in many cases, they're going to want to make up their own t-shirts for their team. That's cool. You can have a souvenir t-shirt from Forever Fierce, you know, just like the samples that we've got right here. Underdog Barbell Intramural Open 2025. I love that. I would want that shirt. It's also really smart to do like supplement tasting night. Okay. So in the spirit of making it feel like a party, you bring out some sample supplements from, you know, BioEdge or Driven or whoever you're using. You have a sign-up sheet. Hey, did you like it? You know, you're playing some music. Hey, try the banana protein. You know, try this. See how you feel. How did you like the taste of that multivitamin? And then just put their name on the pre-registration sheet. Like this is a very easy way to make $1,000 in revenue and help your clients at the exact same time. Registration fees, you know, definitely charge them. I talked about that. Then you can have other activities that can get you points. So you can't just earn points from doing the thing, but, you know, maybe you can earn your team some bonus points by leaving a Google review. You know, maybe you earn your team 2 bonus points by booking a personal training session. You know, maybe you earn some bonus points by leaving a Facebook review or a 5-star review somewhere else or doing a testimonial video. You know, you don't want to overwhelm people with this, but adding a one-time bonus point, especially toward the end of the Intramural Open, like if the points race is close, Guys, it's so close. It's too close to call. Here's an idea. 1 bonus point for every person on your team who leaves a 5-star Google review for my gym. You have between now and 5 p.m. Go. This is just a great way to serve as a tiebreaker and get your gym some cred too. But look, if you've got this whole like matrix bingo card of other ways to earn points, it just gets too complex. Most of the points should be earned from the competition, but you can add one more thing that they can do to get extra points for their team if you want to. Okay. Now, there's other ideas that have come up in the years that didn't come from me. First, doing a kids heat during the Intramural Open is such a wicked idea. Hey, bring your kids day, event 3 or event 4 or whatever. We're going to set up an obstacle course. It doesn't have to be the same workout, but like bringing your kids means they're also going to bring their spouse. Their kids are going to love it. If you've got a kids program, amazing. Even if you don't have a kids program, that is so photogenic. You're going to get amazing media and your clients are going to love being able to bring their kids into the gym. Next, after the Intramural Open, you really need to sit down and do goal reviews with your clients, talk about what they loved, what they want to work on next, make them a new prescription. If that means doing something different from what they're currently doing, tell them that, tell them the price. If it means doing more of what they're currently doing, tell them that, tell them the price. If it means doing less, taking swimming lessons, tell them that, even if you have to refer them out. The point here is you've got to make this about them. This is not about you. It's not about CrossFit HQ. It's not about the CrossFit Games. It's about them. You want them on the podium. You want them on the media. You want them feeling like it's their birthday party. They're being celebrated. They're bringing their kids. They're bringing their friends. The prescription that follows from this should be about them too. Now, if you've done the intramural for the last decade, as I have, there's a couple ways to make it feel fresh and new. A lot of people at my gym will just sign up as soon as they see the open sign, and already it's December now. Like they're asking, when is the Intramural Open sign up coming? They see the banners in the gym. Every year it gets easier to recruit them. But you can still refresh it. You can still make it different and new. You can have weekly themes. You can change the point structure. You can have more teams, fewer teams, different team captains every year. You can have different divisions. You can have people get like promoted to the RX division, right? Just some ideas. But the key is like involve the whole family, invite them to bring their friends, have bigger parties, do more media than you've ever done before. The key though is you have to make it about them. And that means elevating your clients. So I've got this whole section of the guide here, sections about media, sections about highlighting your clients. But finally, whether you do the CrossFit Open and you don't charge for it, you wind up doing all this extra work and exhausting yourself and your staff for free. And, CrossFit HQ makes money on it and you don't. Or the other end of the spectrum, you do only the Intramural Open events. You charge for it. You build the client experience. You build a community. You build the retention. You build your revenue, or something in the middle. It's going to be a lot of work, and it's more work than you're used to. And if you're already almost burned out already, you need to plan to share the load. The way that you're going to share that load is not by asking your coaches to do more for free. They do enough for you. They volunteer. Yes, they want to support the community. Okay. Pay them something. Even if they don't want to pay, buy them a Rogue gift card. But that's another reason to charge for this. If you don't have the guts to charge for it just because it's valuable, charge for it so that you can pay your staff. Okay. So schedule some extra time for coaches. Don't schedule all of them to work every single Saturday during the Intramural Open. Bring in backups. Backups can judge. If you're doing the CrossFit Open, pay for some of your members to do the judges course, Or if you're doing the Intramural Open and you want to judge the super meet, like really strictly, bring in some volunteers, bring in some coffee for them the week before and teach them how to judge so that you're consistent, that kind of thing. Okay. Get as many judges as possible. That's huge. Set up a heat schedule. Now, look, I've never been a fan of you walk into the gym, you see the warm-up, you do the warm-up on your own, and we all gather around the whiteboard. This was common practice like 2014 in CrossFit and other HIIT gyms. You can't do that. But during the Open, I suggest having a written warm-up on the whiteboard because people are going to show up early. They're going to be milling around. If you've got to start a class by warming everybody up every single time, this is really going to take a long time. What you can do is have a written warm-up on the board for the next few weeks. When people are doing the Open, they come in, they do the warm-up on their own. They sign up for a heat time and they're ready to go at that time. That's what time the heat starts. I really recommend doing this because then things just flow. The hype stays high. Nobody's standing around the gym for 3 hours trying to be excited while they're starving. Okay. I've got this all step by step for you in the guide. And again, you can get this guide just by going to intramuralopen.com. It's a free download. We do this every year. We've done it for a decade. It's one of my favorite things that we do every year. We gift it to every gym owner. This year, more than ever, you don't have to be a CrossFit gym to do this. Whether you've ever done a competition at your gym or not, this is still a great way to do something that feels really fun. It builds affinity in your box. It builds trust and excitement. Your clients feel like they've really accomplished something. It's a win for everybody. If you're a CrossFit gym, you don't have to choose one or the other. All you do is plop the CrossFit Open workouts into this Intramural Open framework, as you've been doing for the last 10 years. And boom, you've turned the CrossFit Open into a qualifying for regionals event or whatever it's called now, trying to make the games, into something that really is a true community builder. We were a CrossFit affiliate for 14 years or something like that. And we did the CrossFit Open within the Intramural Open framework for every single year, and people loved it. Now, this year, we'll have our own events that fit my community best. You can do your own programming. You can borrow programming from other people. If you want to go back in the CrossFit.com archives and pick open workouts, that's cool. If you want to use the CrossFit Open, use the CrossFit leaderboard, that's also awesome. Go ahead and do that. My goal, though, as always, is to help you build a better gym. A better gym means more revenue. It means more profit. It means less burnout. It means opportunities for your coaches. But more than anything else, it means a meaningful, memorable event that people in your gym will never forget, that they will use as a foundation to inspire themselves and their friends and their kids later, that they use as an example of themselves at their best, but also an example for the next generation of who you should be. Man, when you see a kid look up to their dad, in my case, and just kind of go like, that was awesome. Or stand beside them as they're doing burpees and cheer for them, as my daughter did when she was about 8 years old and I was doing a 7-minute test of maximum burpees. That's a memory that they're not going to get anywhere else. You're giving them, you are adding to their story, and this can be a peak moment in that story. www.intramuralopen.com. Use it. Thank you for your service. Enjoy. Happy open season.